Hi, my name is Kyle Adams, and today I will be walking you through my UDOT mobile app redesign case study. Let's begin by introducing the subject of our case. UDOT is a powerful service that houses a huge amount of information regarding road transportation in Utah, including traffic cameras, current construction projects, accident updates, and much more. However, the mobile app's user interface leaves a lot to be desired. In my first run through, I have found the interface overwhelming and unintuitive. All of this useful information was being housed in a very outdated package, which led to a confusing experience. When researching further, I found that many existing UDOT users shared my frustrations. Some of the harsher reviews deemed the app as disappointing and useless. And so, we set out with the noble goal of redesigning UDOT from the ground up. Here is my take. We kicked things off with the discovery phase. Starting with competitive audits, we all looked at similar apps in the transportation category. I helped examine MNDOT, a similar traffic app to UDOT. This application had more intuitive ways of structuring how information was displayed, using progressive disclosure and info bundling to help users better understand the roads. Next, we moved on to user interviews. I worked with 10 of my friends with ages ranging from 19 to 29. Only one interviewee had used UDOT before, but everyone was familiar with smartphone navigation apps and had plenty of thoughts on the UDOT experience. Some of these standout quotes can help represent the overall sentiments. My biggest takeaways from user interviews were that people really admired the amount of information that UDOT provided. However, the overwhelming and cluttered nature of the interface would discourage them from using this app in their daily lives. With all of this research out on the table, I moved into the design prep phase. This kicked off with creating two personas from my interview data. First, let's introduce Valley. Valley is always prepared and relies on having structure in their day. They know life can get chaotic fast, which is why they always plan 2 steps ahead and leave nothing to chance. Looking at Valley's journey map, we see that their biggest pain points arise from information overload while planning their route, as well as a lack of updates while driving. Our other persona is named Peak. They aren't a planner, preferring to dive into life head first. They value speed and simplicity, wanting only the information that has a direct impact on their life. Here is Peak's journey map. We can see that they gave up on planning long ago after being instantly overwhelmed by UDOT's interface. They also weren't updated on an accident in the canyon and got stuck in a long line of cars while trying to go ski. This leaves us with our jobs to be done. There were quite a few, with many shared goals between the personas. I further combined and synthesized them into 4 distinct jobs. To put valuable information in just one place, give the interface a highly visual format, provide information outside of the app, and educate users about public transit. Here are my beautiful storyboards, which helped me to visualize the problems that I was designing for, and the lo-fi flows that I developed. Through the lens of my personas, my ideas finally started to take form. Lastly, with my information architecture diagram, we can better understand how UDOT becomes a bridge between the user and the greater transportation ecosystem. This all led to the final, and most fun phase, design. To start, I returned to some of my initial interviewees for concept tests. I chose to collect some quantitative data using sensibility, simplicity, and relevance as key experience indicators to test for. These concept screens based on my flow sketches allowed me to validate the early designs, quickly discovering what worked and what didn't. Fortunately, I scored high on the key experience indicators I tested for. This ensured that the ideas, while still needing polish, were on the right track. Having this valuable feedback before building my mocks was incredibly useful, allowing me to directly address it in the final product. The last step was to build my design system. To honor my intent of simplicity, I chose to keep color usage to a minimum, only letting it shine through when it had a clear purpose in the interface. Finally, let's get to the redesign. In order to begin measuring the success of this project, I would propose tracking user base growth, time users spend in-app, and overall user satisfaction. We will be going through these flows with the Valley persona as they work on planning a commute. Valley begins by opening the new UDOT app, which greets them with a simple map. Valley is starting a new job as a bird keeper for the Tracy Aviary and needs to plan their commute. They open up the search bar to enter the location. Valley is then shown UDOT's recommended route, and the information card includes road and traffic conditions along with relevant road cams. Valley knows they'll be making this commute again, so they choose to favorite it. Now that Valley has favorited the Tracy Aviary, they can open it from the start screen with one click. Since Valley will be making routine visits to the Tracy Aviary for work, they decide to set a notification to keep themselves updated on the commute. They select the days and times they'll be working, as well as how much info they want to receive. Now if there's an interruption on this route during the set time, they'll get an instant update and they can make quick adjustments without opening UDOT. Updates also occur during commutes. If there's an interruption while Valley is behind the wheel, they can adjust to avoid the mess. On Valley's commute today, they notice their route is looking a little rough. There's a big delay and the roads show warning signs. Valley can now use the map to find relevant details for the accident, as well as nearby traffic cams. Bundling this information lets Valley be prepared without having to look in multiple places. Valley notices that the weather outside looks a bit frightful today. They decide to use UDOT's new built-in weather forecast to see when the snow might let up. It looks like it will stop in an hour, at least near Valley's home in Murray. Now time to check their commute. Oh no! Valley can see that even though Murray will be clear, it looks like South Salt Lake has a snow warning for the next 2 hours. Now that Valley is aware of the weather conditions, they can plan accordingly. On days when there's bad weather or traffic, Valley tends to feel very stressed about driving. However, when they open their favorite routes today, Valley sees a pop-up regarding the benefits of public transit. Valley doesn't usually take the train or bus, but decides to click anyway. They are greeted with an alternate route for their commute, one that will be faster and safer than driving. The UDOT app will provide directions for riding based on UTA schedules. UDOT prompts Valley to open Google Maps for a more detailed route setting. Now, Valley knows that they have options for their commute and can make the best plan. Using these final mocks, I performed some user testing, and I was stoked with the response. Everyone agreed that the interface was simple, intuitive, and a big step up. I got even more feedback around the search and public transit features, which I went back and implemented into the mocks that were just shown. And finally, for a bit of closure, my friend Reese, who adamantly hated the original UDOT app, gave my redesign her seal of approval, saying, quote, "I would use it at this point. I would open it and say, 'nice,' instead of 'this isn't helpful to me.'" And that's my project. Thank you for watching. Have a good day.